Psychology, the scientific study of the mind and behavior, encompasses a vast array of subfields, each addressing unique aspects of human thought, emotion, and action. These subfields contribute to both theoretical knowledge and practical solutions, influencing areas such as mental health, education, technology, and social policy. While the following overview highlights 15 major subfields, it is by no means exhaustive, as psychology continues to grow and adapt to societal and scientific advancements. Let's get started. Clinical psychology focuses on diagnosing, treating, and preventing mental illnesses, emotional disturbances, and behavioral disorders. Clinical psychologists often work with individuals, families, and groups to address conditions like anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Their interventions may include therapy sessions, psychological assessments, and collaborative care with medical professionals. Beyond therapy, clinical psychologists also contribute to research on effective treatments and prevention strategies. Cognitive psychology looks at the mental processes involved in acquiring, processing, and using knowledge. This includes studying perception, memory, attention, problem-solving, language, and decision-making. Cognitive psychologists aim to understand how people think and learn, which has applications in education, artificial intelligence, and mental health interventions. Developmental psychology examines how individuals grow and change throughout their lives, from infancy through old age. It explores physical, emotional, cognitive, and social development, considering how genetics and environment interact to shape individuals. Developmental psychologists study critical periods in childhood, such as language acquisition, and later stages like identity formation in adolescence or memory decline in old age. Industrial organizational psychology applies psychological principles to workplace environments to improve productivity, employee satisfaction, and organizational efficiency. This subfield focuses on areas such as recruitment, leadership development, workplace diversity, and conflict resolution. Industrial organizational psychologists might design programs to boost employee engagement, create fair performance evaluations, or study how hybrid work models affect productivity and morale. For instance, an industrial organizational psychologist might work with a company to reduce employee burnout by implementing flexible work schedules and wellness programs, or help leaders develop skills for managing remote teams effectively. Social psychology explores how individuals' thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are influenced by their interactions with others and their social environment. This includes studying group dynamics, prejudice, conformity, persuasion, and relationships. Social psychologists also examine the role of social media and technology in shaping human behavior. For example, they might research how online interactions affect self-esteem or why certain messages go viral. Another application could involve designing interventions to reduce discrimination in workplaces or schools by fostering inclusive practices and breaking down stereotypes. Neuropsychology focuses on understanding the relationship between brain structures and psychological processes. This subfield bridges neuroscience and psychology, often working with individuals who have brain injuries, neurological disorders, or developmental conditions. Neuropsychologists use brain imaging techniques and cognitive assessments to explore how specific brain areas contribute to memory, emotion, language, and decision-making. For instance, a neuropsychologist might study how traumatic brain injuries affect emotional regulation or develop rehabilitation strategies for patients recovering from strokes. Their work is essential in creating therapies for conditions like epilepsy, autism, and Parkinson's disease. Health psychology investigates the psychological, behavioral, and social factors that influence physical health and illness. This subfield emphasizes prevention and lifestyle changes to improve overall well-being. Health psychologists often design programs to address behaviors such as smoking cessation, weight management, and stress reduction. For example, they might work with hospitals to develop workshops for patients with chronic illnesses, teaching coping strategies to manage pain, or adhere to medical treatments. Research in health psychology has also shed light on the connection between stress and immune function, leading to interventions that enhance resilience during illness. Educational psychology studies how individuals learn and develop in educational settings with the goal of improving teaching methods, curriculum design, and student outcomes. Educational psychologists address factors such as motivation, classroom management, and learning disabilities. They also conduct research on how technology can enhance learning experiences. For instance, an educational psychologist might study the impact of interactive apps on math skills in elementary school students or design interventions for students with dyslexia to improve reading comprehension. Forensic psychology applies psychological principles to legal and criminal justice systems, bridging the gap between psychology and the law. Forensic psychologists often assess defendants' mental competency, provide expert testimony in court, and work with law enforcement to profile criminal behavior. They also play a role in rehabilitation programs for offenders. For example, a forensic psychologist might evaluate the risk of reoffending in individuals on parole or work with juvenile offenders to address underlying psychological issues. Sports psychology focuses on helping athletes enhance performance, cope with pressure, and address psychological challenges related to competition. This subfield also examines the mental aspects of recovery from injuries and transitions out of sports. Sports psychologists work with athletes to build confidence, improve focus, and manage stress. For example, a sports psychologist might teach a basketball player visualization techniques to mentally rehearse successful free throws, or support a team in developing strategies to handle high-pressure games. Their work is essential in fostering both performance and mental well-being in athletes. Abnormal psychology examines atypical patterns of behavior, emotion, and thought, focusing on mental health disorders such as schizophrenia, phobias, and obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. This subfield seeks to understand the causes of these conditions and develop effective treatments. For example, a psychologist might research the genetic and environmental factors contributing to bipolar disorder or explore how therapy and medication can alleviate symptoms of OCD. Insights from abnormal psychology guide clinical practice and inform public health initiatives to reduce stigma around mental illness. Environmental psychology studies how physical environments influence human behavior and well-being. This subfield examines topics such as urban design, workplace ergonomics, and the psychological effects of natural settings. Research has shown that access to green spaces can reduce stress and enhance productivity. Environmental psychologists might work with architects to design buildings that promote collaboration and comfort, or study how noise pollution affects mental health in urban areas. By understanding the relationship between people and their environments, this field contributes to creating spaces that support psychological and physical health. Cross-cultural psychology examines how cultural differences influence behavior, thought, and emotion. This subfield explores how values, traditions, and social norms shape individual and group interactions. Cross-cultural psychologists study topics such as parenting practices, communication styles, and mental health disparities across different societies. For instance, they might investigate how collectivist cultures prioritize group harmony over individual achievement, or how cultural stigma affects mental health care access. Their work highlights the importance of cultural context in understanding human behavior and informing inclusive practices. Experimental psychology focuses on conducting controlled research to understand basic psychological processes, such as perception, learning, memory, and emotion. This subfield lays the foundation for other areas of psychology by providing insights into universal principles of behavior. For example, experimental psychologists might study how people process visual stimuli under different conditions, informing safety standards for road signs. Their work contributes to fields like education, therapy, and technology by uncovering the underlying mechanisms of mental processes. Positive psychology emphasizes strengths, resilience, and well-being, focusing on what makes life meaningful and fulfilling. This subfield studies topics like happiness, gratitude, and personal growth, aiming to promote human flourishing rather than merely treating mental illness. For example, programs based on positive psychology principles have been used in schools to teach mindfulness and emotional regulation, improving students' mental health and academic performance. By highlighting the potential for individuals and communities to thrive, positive psychology offers a refreshing perspective on mental health and personal development. The subfields of psychology represent the discipline's incredible diversity, each contributing valuable insights into the complexities of human thought and behavior. From enhancing individual well-being to addressing societal challenges, these subfields play a crucial role in improving lives. Although this overview includes 15 major subfields, psychology continues to expand into new areas, reflecting its dynamic and evolving nature. Together, these branches provide a comprehensive understanding of the human mind and its interaction with the world, ensuring that psychology remains a vital and impactful field. Stay tuned for more insights into business and the social sciences. If you found this overview helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on future topics you'd like us to cover. I'm Dr. Dag, wishing you a fantastic day ahead.